Okay, words in algebra. Yes, they shouldn't be there, should they? Anyway, so this is extremely challenging. So we're going to do the best to follow what I say in this video, and if you can do that, that's excellent. There are only 4 questions, I think, in your worksheet, so hopefully you can do those okay. They're pretty scaffolded. And there's only 1 question in the test. So you're going to do your best on that, but if you don't get it, that's okay. It's just 1 out of lots and lots of questions. So imagine that your cutlery drawer contains knives, forks and spoons. So there's, let's just go, A knives, B forks and C spoons. So we want to write an expression for the total number of knives and forks. Knives and forks. So knives and forks would just be A, that was a dodgy A, plus B. Because I don't know how many knives I've got. I've got A knives and B forks, so how many in total do I have? A plus B. Let's do the next one in a different colour. Write an expression for the total number of items in your drawer. Well, that's knives, forks and spoons. So that would be A plus B plus C. Green. You put 4 more forks in your drawer. You don't know how many you started with, but you got 4 more. How many forks do you have now? Well, I had B forks and I added another 4. So that's how many I've got. It's B plus 4. It's weird, isn't it? Okay, what other colour have I got? Let's go with purple. Write an expression for the number of knives in the drawer after 6 knives are taken out. 6 knives are taken out. So I had A knives and I've taken 6 out. So it's A minus 6. Hopefully you can follow that and give a couple of questions a go. Okay. Let's go back to black. A and B are just numbers. A and B are just numbers. Write expressions for the sum. So we need to know, what does the word sum mean? So if you don't know, here you go. Sum is plus. The sum of A and B is A plus B. The sum of 3 and 4, the sum of 3 and 4 is 7. So sum is plus. Let's go next one. The difference between. What's the difference between 9 and 5? Well, the difference is minus, so it's 4. So the difference between A and B will be A minus B. 3 times A, I'm running out of room up there, 3 times A is subtracted from, so it's taken away from something, it's subtracted from 2 times B. So 3 times A is subtracted from 2 times B. That's that one. It's getting a bit messy, isn't it? Time to change colour. I'll go to blue. Product of A and B. Product is times. So the product of A and B is A times B. We could write that as just AB, couldn't we? Green. Twice the product of something. So it's twice the product of A and B. So if that's the product of A and B, well, twice that is just 2AB. That's a little bit challenging, isn't it? That's twice of the product of A and B. Let's clean this up a little bit. Blue. The sum of. So I'm adding some things together. I'm adding 3A and 7B. The sum of 3A and 7B. The sum of 3A and 7B. So in worded questions, you want to give your answer a bit of a shot and go back and read it and make sure that it is. A is multiplied by itself. Let's just go red, hey? A is multiplied by itself, so that's A times A. I guess you might actually say that that's also A squared. That'll do. Green. A is multiplied by itself. A is multiplied by itself, so we just worked out that that's A squared. And the result, that's A squared, is divided by 5. That is A squared divided by 5. I hope you're paying attention because that looks really messy right now, but I hope you followed it as I was saying it. Ooh, Naomi. Naomi, I have no idea how old you are. You are 2 years old. Write an expression for her age in 2 years' time. So I don't know how old she is now, but in 2 years she'll be whatever that age is, plus 2. Write an expression for Steve's age if he is G years older than Naomi. Well, there's Naomi and Steve is G years older. So that's T plus G. How old was Naomi 5 years ago? Well, here's Naomi now. So 5 years ago, I've got to subtract 5. Naomi's father is twice her age. So here's Naomi. Well, twice her age is 2 times T, but I don't need that times in there. So how old is Naomi's father? He's 2T. Oh my gosh, we love worded questions in algebra. Try and do some of the textbook questions. Have your finger in that answer section and see if you can make head nor tail of how they got their answer and do those worksheet questions.